Hi, travelers. Tara here. This was not the reading I was planned on posting as an open reading for you guys. Excuse me, for May. I wanted to come out and give you guys an open reading because you haven't heard from me in a few days. And in fact, what I was doing was working on the romance and relationship readings for the month of May for the website. The reading that I just completed was for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising for May 2019. Now, those of you who have been with me for a while know that I don't like to scare people. You know that I don't sugarcoat crap. You know that I give it to you plain, I give it to you true. And so for a moment, I was kind of at odds with whether or not I should keep this reading on the website for members only. But the message was such a frightening message for me. Not in just the sense of what I was seeing in the cards, but the general energy. Those of you who have been with me a while know that I don't just read the cards. I literally tune into the energy. And so I determined that I'm going to go ahead and post this up as an open reading because there's somebody out there. Now, whether this is you specifically, it may not be you specifically, but it could be somebody that you know, a friend and or a family member. Remember, this was relationships and romance. And so this, it could be a friend or a family member. And I really feel that you need to hear, as many people as possible need to hear this particular reading. So it's already been recorded. So when this section ends, it's going to pick up with that particular reading. And again, it was for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising for May 2019. I'm going to have to stop reading for probably for the rest of the day because that reading just really, okay. And I'm not in the space to continue. So those of you who are waiting for me to finish those monthly readings for website members, bear with me a couple of days because this was going to take me a bit to recover from. So with that said, please watch the reading. You can contact me. You can click on the I. You can email me. The I is usually, I don't know where it's at. It's usually over there. That'll take you directly over to the website. Let me, before I end this, say that not everything, nothing I see in the cards is set in stone, but this is a clear, as clear as can be, warning. It is a dangerous situation. And so I would be remiss in putting that up behind the wall of the membership. Somebody out there needs to hear this. So with that said, please watch the reading. Till next time, namaste. Hi, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is your romance and relationship reading for May 2019. There's a bunch of stuff happening astrologically, and I don't have the time to go through all of it, but I will be writing an article in the next couple of days and posting that up. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Radiant White deck. We will clarify with La Vida Sibila and also the playing card should we need to, and then you'll get an opportunity to wrap the reading up with a a romance angel card. I've already done some meditation and on your glyph and your sign. And so let's just see what the cards have to say, okay? So let me get a good rifle on these. I've already pre-shuffled these cards a bit. And here we go. King of Cups. So, a water sign male, but sometimes the King of Cups is known as someone who's associated with the law, like can be a lawyer or a counselor or something of that nature. Okay. Oh, the moon card, and it came out reversed. Wow, that's interesting. And I don't read reverse cards, but we'll see what that card has to say to us reversed. The Eight of Pentacles. That reverse card is bugging me. Okay. There's the death card. Well, here's the King of Wands. So I have two kings here. One of a water element, one of a fire element. I don't know if this is some kind of business deal. Let's see. Well, there's the Devil. The Seven of Swords. There's some kind of shenanigans going on here. Really, there are. The Four of Swords. And the Seven of Cups. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I've been doing a lot of readings for people over the past couple of weeks. And the two sevens have been coming up. They've been coming up in different configurations, different suits. But they've been coming up a lot. And whenever, I can't speak for any other reader, but whenever I see two numbers coming up over and over and over again, that really is kind of a wake-up call. Now, two sevens speak to false friends, but two sevens can also speak to the idea that there's some kind of self-confidence issue going on. This, to me, doesn't read like that. It reads as though there's some kind of shenanigans going on here. And I can't quite put my finger on exactly what it is. Personally, I feel that this is a business type situation. Now, the Seven of Swords can typically mean the idea of rushing ahead. Sometimes it's a self-sabotage kind of a thing. You're rushing ahead. You're not making the plans. You're running away from something. Sometimes this card can be about people doing things out in the open that are really, really shady. Sometimes they're doing it behind your back. The reason why I say that is, see those groups of people over there? They've all got their back turned to this guy. Sometimes this can be about some stalking and spying. But what this appears to be, to me, this is a power struggle between these two males. Now, I'm not exactly sure if you are presenting as one of these kings or not. If, not necessarily in terms of the element, because you're air and this is water and fire. But if this is in terms of career, what these two people do. I get the sense that this King of Cups has determined in some way that this is coming to an end, or maybe he has ended something. But he's also of two minds about it. Now, if I add these two swords cards together, the 7 and the 4, that gives me 10 plus 1, an ace. And if that is the case, the ace is the truth of the situation. I think whatever this thing is, it is mired in some kind of deception or deceit. There's a fog over it. Perhaps you can't see exactly what is happening. You may have been given some kind of clues and or hints. You may know where this is coming from. But if I subtract the 7 from the 4, that gives me 3 swords. So there tells me that there's also an element of betrayal, disappointment, loss, sadness, misfortune. And can also say that there's something about this King of Wands that has not necessarily presented itself either. So if you are in, let's say, relationship with two separate men, or, and no matter if this is a romantic relationship and or a business type of relationship, the shit has gone sideways. Really, it has. And I don't think anybody has any clear understanding of how it came about. Not why, but how. The why of it, to me, implies that there's some kind of ill wishes. There could even be some kind of malediction or jealousy or anger thought form being directed towards or between or directed at or by or created by or at between these two kings. But you yourself are also involved. What's over this? There's a Queen of Cups. Now, this could be the idea that maybe you are a Libra sun, moon, and or rising, okay? But the individual that you are dealing with is the King of Cups. And whenever I do readings and there's a couple issue that comes up sometimes, what it tells me is that you have taken on the qualities of this King of Cups. So you may be in partnership in some way, shape, or form with either a Cancer, a Scorpio, and or a Pisces, okay? At the same time, these two cards can represent that same person. This may be the way that he is normally, but something has occurred where now he might be very, very angry and very aggressive. There is a power struggle here. This is Pluto and Saturn. And Saturn is the father and Pluto is the son. Well, Saturn is stubborn. He's slow. He doesn't like moving. He acts out of fear. But the thing is that ultimately Pluto always wins because he doesn't play fair. And he's playing for keeps. Okay. In other words, he will raise the ground. He will burn everything. It's a fire card, a fire element. He will raise everything to the ground. He will use every dirty trick in the book because nobody beats death. Okay, so this could be a no holds barred kind of a battle. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to look at this reverse moon card. That just does not sit well with me at all. So I want to read what the moon card says reversed and then see if first of all, if there, let me see, just let me look. Okay, here it is. Fear, despair, worry, hidden enemies, danger, deception, darkness, errors, mistakes, instability, inconsistency, silence, minor problems, and helplessness. Now, what I'm picking up is that I think that this person, in effect, has kind of maybe left the scene or has kind of taken a step back. And what may appear like the end of the situation, it is not. Okay? The reverse moon implies that confusion reigns, causing mistakes and bringing deception into your life. It infers that you may be involved in a difficult situation that at this time, in a difficult situation at this time, which may be adversely affecting your health and inner strength. It indicates that negative attitudes, morbid fantasizing, and feelings of utter despair may have become a serious problem. It is now time to confide in a friend and seek advice and support. Maybe this is somebody who's trying to help you, and maybe they broke off the connection because you were lying to them. You weren't telling them the truth. A reverse can indicate that occult forces are at work in your life. Now, I was going to say that when I was speaking to you about the maledictions, the anger, spirits, or directions, this is somebody who may be employing magic against you, black magic against you. Black magic is not always burning a black candle and wishing somebody death. It could literally be that idea of you cursing someone or sending them extremely hateful energy to cross you up. And so that's kind of what I'm getting here. Whenever I see these two cards together, with this. I don't kind of like to see those things. This speaks about spells and incantations with these two cards. Somebody who's trying to command and dominate a situation to their advantage. Now, it is connected with this King of Cups, but I also can't lie that this King of Wands sits in the center. And as you can see, he's kind of trying to face down death. He's trying to meet this head on. And I would say that with the Devil card here, this is somebody who's not going to give up very, very easily. So even though the person may have disappeared off of the scene, so to speak, they're resting. They are not, they have not given up. Okay? So it says that the moon appearing reverse can indicate that occult forces are at work in your life. It may be implying disillusionment. It may be implying mental disorders and or a nervous breakdown. It may also tell of phobias and fears that can be causing self-doubt. And that's the 2 sevens. It tells us that illusions are just another form of self-deception, causing confusion and uncertainty. There it is, right there. There it is. It implies unexplained mood swings causing disharmony and depression and may be triggered by a number of causes, and as a result, it will be wise to seek medical diagnoses to end this distressing cycle. It tells you not to take any risk at this time as there's a possibility for misunderstanding, so make sure you say exactly what you mean. Do not waste energies in disagreements and arguments with others. That's why this guy's taking a break. And he is not in the mood to communicate, okay? But do not think that there is not something happening behind the scenes, because there are. It says, maintain your views regardless of oppositions from others. You are asked not to waste your energies in arguments or disagreements, and do not be afraid to see things as they are. Hold on to your point of view. Well, it's quite difficult for you at the moment. It tells you to keep control and stay focused, as a negative situation will soon improve. Do not allow your imagination to run away with you. And I think many of you are working very, very difficult, very hard, and with a focused intention not to be distracted by whatever this thing is. There's a focus on inner fears and uncertainty. The Moon card tells you that it would be wise to pay attention to intuitive feelings and inner voices. It warns that you should be wary, as at this time there are possible threats and dangers. It tells you to be in complete control of your emotions, remain calm and patient, and things will turn your way. That's why you're focused on this cup. So something of some extreme magnitude is occurring here. As I say, I'm not exactly sure what this is. So what I'm going to do is look at these pip cards here as they relate to these 3 cards. We will start with the Ace of Pentacles. I'm sorry, the 8 of Pentacles. Next to the Devil, the Moon, the Death card. It tells me nothing. 7 of Swords. This is a really, really, really tricky situation. And I think the advice for you as well is to kind of take a step back, remove yourself from this if at all possible. At least don't say anything. Don't add your 2 cents worth in right now. Okay? That's really what I'm, because these are swords. Because right now, nothing is clear. This really reads like some kind of battle. It tells me nothing. Now let me read to you the 7 of Swords. It represents a time of solitude and of questioning oneself with a focus on adjustments and ill-conceived plans. You are asked to be wary of fanciful promises and should look carefully at any situation before making adjustments. You need to remain concentrated and focused at this time and should keep distractions to a minimum. I think many of you are trying but this is a very difficult situation. It depicts the trickster and may indicate that things may not work out as planned or expected. You are asked to show some tenacity and boldness in action to bring about your desired results. You are encouraged to dare to be bold and brave and take risk at this time. I would say not to do that. This tells me that it's going to clear up eventually, okay? But right now it's not the time to be making power plays. I would, and I would wait until this moon passes. In a way, it's kind of telling me that it goes, perhaps it may go back to the last moon cycle of last month when the moon was in Libra. We've had 2 full moons in Libra, the one in March and the one in April. It may be implying that you are carrying a heavy burden or load upon your shoulders and you are asked to delegate task and responsibility to others and not to take on other people's responsibility for them, as this denies them the opportunity to learn the lessons of their own actions in regard to cause and effect. Big karma card. Along with this one. Because in a way, this is kind of telling me that one of these individuals is not willing to let go of something, nor is the other individual. This is what this is telling me. This situation is locked and tied right now. There is no avenue of escape, and there is no clarity on how to escape. The 2 swords tell me that there's definitely some indication. Someone is trying to determine if they should leave things the way they are and take what they have, or if they're going to come back and pick up these 2 swords. And I think it's this Fire King. And so that's your Aries, Leo, and or Sagittarius. It may be implying, okay, this is the 7 of Swords, may indicate that dealings may be dishonest or not straightforward and direct. It brings a message to be particularly aware of all proceedings and remain cautious. It implies that we or others may feel obligated to behave in ways that are not direct, but which we accept, hoping that the end will justify the means. Now, I get the sense that maybe some of you have tried to avoid this situation or escape this situation, but you cannot. It's impossible at the moment. And so, although you can't escape it, at the moment, there really is nothing that you can do. So don't, in effect, it's kind of like don't do anything. It carries a message that something you thought lost will be returned to you. This may include the rekindling of friendships and old ties. It can suggest that your plans are not working out as planned, so look for an alternative. If your plan does not work out, you should not look to place blame on others, but rather look to yourself for the reasons of the failure. It may also indicate that the most likely cause of failure is hasty actions and a lack of focus and concentration, and that keeps coming across. It may be warning you that your plans will not work out at this time due to circumstances beyond your control. You may need to look to alternative options or means. And what this tells me is that positively, once you figure out whatever it is you should be doing or where you should be directing your energies, you can clear up the rest of this situation. It implies stealth around someone who attempts to outsmart destiny and evade the consequences of their wrongdoing. That's what I'm saying. It's almost like you're trying to evade this. You're trying to sneak out of it. You're trying to, when, you know, it may be something that you did or you caused or you situation you put yourself into that has created this situation. It tells of the possibility of tension, arguments, disagreements, and misunderstandings within a current situation. It may also imply that someone is spying or delving into issues that are not their business. In a spread, it may be warning you to be honest and upfront in all your dealings. Otherwise, you will be caught out, and this will have detrimental effects on many levels. It may be implying that you are inclined to take flight from a situation rather than to face up and take the appropriate responsibility and action to find a solution. It can also tell of surprise and or unexpected opportunities. With a 7 of any other suit is an indication that huge life changes are about to take place. It is a strong indication that you have reached an important point in your life and change is inevitable. It tells of starting over under new or different circumstances where new favorable conditions will abound. Well, that may be so, but right now it looks pretty intense. The Four of Swords. It tells me nothing. Look, I think both of these people, there's three, oh wait. With three court cards, it indicates that there are some misunderstandings and difficulties within current relationships. It is a message not to proceed with any new ventures or relationships unless you feel absolutely secure. It is most important to check the fine details before proceeding, as there is a possibility of difficulties arising. Now, for many of you, you are already in the thick of this. For some of you, this may be starting with the full moon, with the new moon that happened on the 4th. And for the rest of you, this is going to be coming up. This is a clear sign to me that something is not right. And you are going to have difficulty with these two individuals. Big difficulties. And it's going to get nasty. And it could also be the idea that somebody is really trying to cross you up using occult forces. See, what is not funny, but what is funny to me is that here's a king and the death card, and the king is dead. This king is like, okay, I see you coming, but you're not going to get me. Okay? Does that make any sense? This one is like, I'm going to stand my ground. I'm not going to let this go. I think somebody's doing some kind of investigation or research. Now, what about what? I don't know. This guy is known as the business person. Okay? Now, he can be a mentor. He can be an entrepreneur. Typically, he's someone who has all of these grand ideas and then delegates, but he's outgoing and gregarious, very friendly, open, sexual. This person is can be calm and steady, but still waters run deep. He's a water sign. You know, the first card I'm going to look at is this moon reversed. And that's that 3 of Swords right there on the wall that I'm talking about. And remember that 10 with the ace? There it is. So I would expect that, and this is an effigy. This is not the real person. This is somebody who has gone, quote unquote, underground or has sequestered themselves. They are, what is the word? They are replenishing. Okay? Their energy. They are gearing up for another battle or fight. Now, right now, we have Pluto and Saturn in the same sign of Capricorn. And this is this to me, it just reads like a power struggle, but I don't know what the underlying thing is. Prigione. Il nemico. So if something has been stuck and not moving, it is because this is a hidden enemy. There's probably somebody that you don't even know about that is kind of controlling and pulling the strings on this. The Viaggio. Now, this card speaks to a vacation, a trip, a travel, but it can sometimes, not an interview, This is either somebody coming or have arrived. If they have already arrived underneath the new moon, maybe the last moon, maybe you haven't seen that person yet because they haven't reared their head, but this is definitely telling you that that individual is on the way. They are working on it. Wow, this is something major. And I also get the sense that when they show up, if this person hasn't shown up, when they show up, it is literally they're coming to do the death blow. They're coming to knock this individual out. Okay? You know, if this is somebody who's been stalking you, I want you to be very careful. I don't know if the person has been in prison or not. The Prigioni. They've been locked up. I think they're going to try to kind of sneak up on you. So I want you to be very, very cautious. And if you recognize this King of Cups individual, you need to be very inform this person as well to be very cautious. And whatever plans you have may not come to fruition, but most definitely they are not going to turn out the way that you think you are. And you don't want to rush this, whatever it is. Giovani Fanciulla. The Domestico. And the Lamante, female. Now, I'm not exactly sure. The Giovani Fanciulla speaks to attraction to a young girl. But this could also be like being the new female. You know, I just get the sense for some of you, this is somebody that's online. And they appear to be one way, but are quite another. Well, let's see what this for some of you. I don't know if this is the idea that someone is offering. To me, the Giovani Fanciulla implies in a way that one of these people is new in your sphere. Okay? They are not the way they appear to be. Now, this could literally be that somebody has some kind of mental issue, and I want you to be very careful. The Bambino, the Pensiero. Yeah, what they want is a new bond, a new relationship. Remember how I said to you that they are, it's like they're employing magic or spells or something like that. They're really focused on trying to create this new bond with you. Wow. Let me take a look at these two sevens. And then I'm going to pull cards on this Four of Swords to tell me to see if I can see what's happening under this rest. Because with the moon reversed, what it tells me, what it's saying to me with this Seven of Swords, looking back on it, and this Seven of Cups behind it, is that things appear to be at a standstill, but they are not. The person may be making plans on something, so that's why I want to look at that Four of Swords. The Alegria, family and friends. I don't know if this, and look, and there's that group situation back there. the letterato, but the man, the discovery, the man of science. And the Wheel of Fortune. I think somebody's got their tentacles out. And they have not only affecting you in this, I just get the sense that you're with this King of Cups. And the whole idea is to upset the plans, change the balance. And work it in their favor. And I would dare say that the person has also either been looking into your family and your friends, Vecchia Signora, the Morte. Look. I'm going to throw this out, and I don't ever say these things, but this is a really, really dangerous situation, and it very well could be that somebody is out for blood. They are literally wanting to kill someone. See, she could be a widow. She could also be somebody's mom. There's confusion around what happens here. Let's pull cards on this. It's almost like the cards, these cards are saying that the person may show up at a family event. Okay? Let's see what the person is hiding. You know this individual. Wow, okay. There's a Three of Spades. Yes, there's the Ace of Spades. And there's the King of Wands. Again. Now, the Three of Spades speaks to betrayal. It speaks to separations. It speaks to heartache. It speaks to a third person interfering. This is a warning, particularly with this Ace of Spades, because this card is not just about difficult endings. It oftentimes can speak of death. With this King of Wands, this is who the cards, this is the hidden enemy. You know who this person is. If you have any events that you have been invited to or something that you're planning, please be extremely careful. Be extremely careful when you are traveling. This person is out for blood, and they have the idea, and that's why I say I kind of get the sense that the person may have a screw loose, and they got this idea that you are it, you are what they want. So this could even be not that the person tries to harm, injure, or defeat their rival, okay? They may in turn end up trying to hurt you, physically hurt you. But there is confusion as to what is going to happen or how that's going to play out. So I don't know what to tell you. I think your family members are involved, and when I say involved, I'm not saying like they're the ones who are help egging this on, but the individual is lurking around your family and your friends and maybe even your mom. So please be very, very careful. I really don't like the energy on this reading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull, I'm going to say within the next 10 days, this person, this event may occur. This person may make their move. They are definitely planning something. It's an obsession is what it reads like. And I don't know if maybe you know, were fooling around with somebody on the side and then thought you were just going to walk away from that shit. No. Now, strong magnetic attraction, but it doesn't mean it's a healthy one. Okay? My book. You receive this card because you feel a strong dynamic pull toward another person. Now, this could be talking about this King of Wands. In other words, you share chemistry with him or her. This creates intense, pleasurable sensations that draw you to each other. If this person is someone other than your partner in a committed relationship, then the chemistry is probably a source of both stress and escape. You need to weigh your options and the consequences carefully before or instead of leaving your current partner or embarking upon an affair. If, however, you are single and feel this pull toward another unattached person, then this card brings you a go-ahead green light of good news. Most likely, the chemistry is mutual and merits exploration. In some cases, this card may mean that a lack of chemistry is a cause for relationship issues and personal discontent. If there was chemistry initially, it may be restored by devoting effort to the relationship. Passion, sparks, and romance can be revived through playfulness, thoughtfulness, time together, and caring gestures. Call upon the romance angels to guide you as you make important decisions about channeling this chemistry. I think for some of you, you have already put this in motion, and you are dealing with someone who is very unbalanced. And I honestly, I don't get cards like this very often. And I'm very worried. So if you recognize this situation, I don't know what to tell you, except to please be careful. Let somebody know the truth of this situation. Don't hold it in. If you are fearful, let somebody know. Let them know who the person is, how you met them, what has happened leading up to the now. If it was, you know, due to your own choices and decisions, you need to own up to it and don't try to hide that shit from anybody, because this situation is very, very dangerous. Okay? It's very dangerous. So that's what I have for you. You know, be careful, be well, be smart, be prudent, be cautious. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm very upset by this reading right now. So with that said, I'm going to log off from this. I'm going to close these cards down. Namaste, and, you know, peace be with you, honestly.